else is buzzing, man?
Um, I don't have much besides football, and I know we're getting into a lot of football today.
Well, I do
What
have
else you
one
got?
more for us.
Okay.
Derrick Rose wrote a book.
Oh,
Yeah, it's coming out pretty soon.
what's it called?
It's published by the New York Post. The name of it is "I'll Show You."
Okay.
That's the name of it. And he talks about a few things in the book, which is pretty interesting. So they released a couple of excerpts, one of which involved the fact that Phil Jackson forced the Knicks to run the triangle, even when the personnel didn't fit. And he just really didn't feel like Derrick Rose didn't feel like the personnel they had fit that. And when they played like a free-flowing style, that they probably played better. And he said the thing that really got to him was that he said he just kind of lost a little bit of the fun for the game in so many words.
Yeah.
He said no matter what they did, if they won and didn't run a triangle, Phil wasn't happy about it. You know, he wasn't feeling it at all. And if they lost, of course, he wasn't feeling that either. He said at a certain point he felt like he wanted to just leave. He left the team. Remember, he left the team for a while.
Yep.
He was going to retire. His family kind of talked him back into.
That's when he ran away. Well, he didn't ran away. He's a grown man, but he left.
He disappeared
back to
I
Chicago.
mean, literally, they didn't know where he was. Like I think it was like
Had to be 2 seasons ago.
he
2 or
didn't
3?
show up or something. Was it a practice or something?
Oh yeah, I
like
remember. I
that?
think we spoke about it on this show. He just left.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he showed up for the game.
Yeah, he just vanished. But he was like, the excerpt reads, he said, "I like Phil, but come on, man." He said, "You're still running the triangle." He was still forcing them to run it. He said, "I'm a slasher, a driving point guard. The triangle's okay, but not for the personnel we had." He said, "Melo couldn't even play that way. He didn't want to play that way."
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that was pretty interesting stuff.
I think that is pretty cool because there's so much tension in the Knicks around that time, and there's still so many unanswered questions to who was wrong, who said what, who did what, how did it go down in regards to Carmelo, in regards to Phil Jackson, ownership. Like there's still so many unanswered questions that have to do with what happened around that time when Melo was with the Knicks.
Yeah.
So the fact that Derrick Rose is one of those players speaking up and putting it in a book, I think that's pretty cool.
It is cool,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it was a full-on mess. Is what we were looking at. What we thought was a bonfire.
Yeah.
And it really was.
It really was a bonfire.
It was a fire.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And so it mixed up in all of that. You know, you're talking about Melo's not producing like you think he probably should, so we're criticizing him. Derrick Rose is trying to disappear and leave. You know, you got Hornacek, who really he played for the Utah Jazz. He played for your team.
Yeah, he did.
They didn't run a triangle. They probably knew how the triangle kind of worked when they played against Michael in the finals. But other than that, you know, he's trying to adapt whatever he knows to what Phil is saying you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mess.
Phil, and it makes me question Phil as a coach only because, I mean, I know his resume, but only because is someone who is not able to conform with change. I don't know if we should always put them on this pedestal. I don't know if they deserve that throne of, hey, I'm the best coach, or since I have this amount of rings coaching, I'm the best. Because the triangle worked with Michael, 6 rings. The triangle worked with Kobe, 3 rings.
Yeah.
So let me correct myself. Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
Mike and Pippen.
Yeah.
But well, what if it didn't work with them?
Yeah.
Could he still be Phil Jackson?
I know where you're going with this, and you're going to say, I'm going to say what I think you're trying to say, and that is you can have rings, you can have hardware, whatever, but the best coaches, in my opinion, and even GMs, are the ones that can adapt to what they have and maximize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I think.
So, like say, for instance, and I hate to use this as an example because it's a different sport, but Bill Belichick, one year they're pass heavy. Another year they're running the ball. Another year they're focusing on defense. You know what I mean? They play to their strengths. They play to their personnel until they can do better.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, like the team they have this year, we'll get into this later, but I'm sure they have their own little setups of what they want to do. But now that Antonio Brown's been added, now you can add something else to the mix. You can't just keep running the triangle and you don't got, you don't have Jordan or Kobe, running that top part of the triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like Pop would be the first to admit that, and he has admitted that when LaMarcus came in, know, he tried to tailor him to what he was doing with Tim Duncan, and he wasn't having that. That's why they had that tension the first year or two.
He wasn't being used properly.
But he stayed. He stuck it out, and now Pop is conforming to his strengths, and you see that the difference in his gameplay last year. Yeah, he played great last year.
Great. He
but with that first year, he wants to leave.
He had LaMarcus picking and rolling himself to death, picking and rolling, pick and pop, all things that he can do. But he don't want to do that all game.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Duncan, on the other hand, has no problem with that. He'll pick and roll and pick and pop you to death. He'll stand in that same spot. If he'll shoot 20 from that square or that star on the floor all night long and not even care about it. But LaMarcus wants to go the hole a little bit, maybe dunk on you, maybe give you a little
he wants the ball
dream
on the block
check.
sometime,
because he's very skilled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.